November 24th, 1971, an ordinary-looking man entered an airport in Portland, Oregon. Within hours, he would become one of the greatest mysteries in American history.
Good afternoon. How can I help you? Checking in. Economy. Here's your ticket, Mr. Cooper. Thank you.
His destination was Seattle, a short flight that should have been completely routine.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Heading to our seats now.
The mysterious passenger chose a seat toward the back of the aircraft and quietly waited for departure.
Minutes later, the Boeing 727 lifted into the cloudy afternoon sky.
Drinks? Yes, please. And for you?
He remained quiet, watching the passengers and crew around him. Then he reached into his pocket and removed a small piece of paper.
Please take this and read it carefully.
Of course, sir. Right away. This wasn't what I expected. Not at all.
He requested water and a newspaper.
He seemed perfectly at ease.
I'll bring that right away, sir.
The crew is working to keep the flight calm.
We'll handle it. The pilots immediately understood the seriousness of the situation. Far below, authorities were being informed, and emergency plans were already being discussed.
Yet the mysterious passenger remained perfectly calm, as if everything was proceeding exactly according to plan.
What happened next would trigger one of the most famous investigations in FBI history.
A routine flight had become something far more unusual. And this was only the beginning.
Authorities are requesting a detailed manifest and proof of identity.
We're initiating the standard landing procedure now.
Tower, this is Alpha, requesting updated landing vector.
Alpha, vector verified. Clear to approach.
Roger that. Alpha commencing approach.
We need to get everyone off. Not yet. They're here. Nobody moves until we know what's happening.
Shortly after sunset, the aircraft landed safely in Seattle. The plane was directed to a remote area of the airport, where negotiations could continue privately. Despite the attention surrounding him, the mysterious passenger remained remarkably calm.
Outside, preparations were underway to meet the passengers' requests.
We've received an update. They're ready to proceed.
Understood.
Understood. Confirmations received.
The situation had become one of the most unusual aviation incidents in recent memory.
We need to secure the aircraft immediately.
As the aircraft remained on the ground, preparations continued behind the scenes. Outside, airport operations moved. As darkness settled over Seattle, the mystery continued to grow. Eventually, arrangements were completed and preparations moved forward.
All right, passengers, please remain calm. We are now allowing passengers to exit the aircraft safely, one by one.
Follow the lead of the person in front of...
Many would later describe the experience as strange, but surprisingly calm. Soon, only a small number of people remained on board.
The mysterious passenger showed no sign of changing his plans.
Preparations are complete, Tower. We are ready for departure. Understood. You are cleared for taxi to runway 35.
Do you have any details about the passengers or crew?
We cannot comment at this time. The investigation is
Were there any eyewitnesses? Were there any eyewitnesses?
Whatever he intended to do next, he appeared completely confident. Then, for the second time that day, the aircraft prepared to leave the ground. The most mysterious chapter of the story was about to begin. With only a handful of people remaining on board, the aircraft lifted off once again and disappeared into the darkness.
Outside the windows, darkness stretched across the landscape below.
Good evening, sir. Can I assist you with anything?
No, thank you. I'm quite comfortable.
The flight continues. Preparations quietly began in the rear section of the aircraft. Below them were forests, rivers, mountains, and thousands of square kilometers of wilderness.
Course corrected. Altitude holding steady. All systems nominal.
At some point during the flight, the mysterious passenger moved toward the back of the plane.
It was here that one of the greatest mysteries in aviation history would unfold. What do you see?
Wind, rain, and darkness combined to create difficult conditions outside. Yet the mysterious passenger continued acting with remarkable confidence.
Crew members were instructed to remain away from the rear section.
For a period of time, nobody could directly observe what was happening in the back of the plane. Somewhere below, forests stretched endlessly across the night.
Everything appeared normal from the cockpit's perspective. Then, an unusual event was reported involving the aircraft's rear stair system. Crew noticed changes suggesting activity somewhere behind them. Whatever happened next would become the subject of debate for decades.
At some point during that flight, Mystery Man Alpha disappeared from history. No confirmed witness ever saw him again. By the following morning, one of the largest investigations in FBI history was already underway. Agents focused their attention on the region where Mystery Man Alpha was believed to have disappeared. Search teams examined vast areas of wilderness from both the air and the ground.
The challenge was enormous. Nobody knew the exact location connected to the mystery. The Pacific Northwest contained countless square kilometers of rugged terrain. Investigators hoped physical evidence might reveal what happened after the flight. Every clue was collected, analyzed, and added to the growing case file. Witness interviews became an important part of the investigation.
He requested water and kept to himself.
He never made eye contact.
So he was alone the entire time? Yes, from boarding to takeoff.
Using witness descriptions, investigators produced sketches of Mystery Man Alpha. Soon, the case dominated headlines across the United States. Millions of Americans followed every new development.
Anything stand out to you? There are a few interesting leads here.
Some tips appeared promising. Others led nowhere. Hundreds of individuals were examined during the investigation. Yet none of the leads produced a definitive answer. The deeper investigators looked, the more complicated the mystery became. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Millions of Americans followed every new development. The man who vanished into the night had left behind questions, but very few answers. As the years passed, investigators faced a difficult reality. The mystery remained unsolved. Without a confirmed answer, theories began to emerge from investigators, journalists, and the public.
Some theories seemed plausible. Others sounded almost unbelievable.
One of the most popular theories suggested that Mystery Man Alpha survived and escaped successfully. Supporters believed he landed safely and quietly disappeared into a new life. According to this theory, he may have changed his identity and lived anonymously for decades.
The suspect matches the description, but he has an airtight alibi. Check his past flights again.
Yet none could be conclusively connected to the mystery.
Another theory focused on the harsh environment below the flight path.
The region was vast, remote, and difficult to search, even under ideal conditions. Some investigators believed the mystery may have ended somewhere within the wilderness. If true, important evidence may have remained hidden for years. Another possibility suggested that Mystery Man Alpha had carefully planned everything long before boarding the aircraft. According to this idea, every step of the operation may have been prepared in advance.
If so, investigators may never have known his real identity. As time passed, the mystery became part of American folklore. The search for answers continues, new theories emerge. But what really happened to the man who vanished into the night? Then came one of the most unusual theories ever proposed. What if everyone had been searching in the wrong place all along?
What if the man who vanished into the night never actually left the aircraft? Among all the theories surrounding the case, one stood out because of how unexpected it was.
This theory questioned a basic assumption that investigators had accepted for decades.
What if Mystery Man Alpha never left the aircraft at all?
No camera recorded the rear section. No witness directly observed every moment.
There were gaps in the timeline that continue to fuel speculation today. Some theorists imagined the possibility that another unknown person may have remained hidden on board.
According to this theory, an unexpected confrontation may have occurred beyond the view of the crew. No one knows exactly what happened in those final minutes. Supporters of the theory argue that the mystery may have unfolded differently than investigators believed. However, investigators never found evidence supporting this scenario.
Like many theories, it remains speculation rather than fact. Yet the idea continues to fascinate people, because it challenges everything we think we know about the case.
Decade after decade, the mystery refused to disappear.
Thousands of pages of reports were created, but no final answer ever emerged.
Over time, the mystery grew far beyond the original investigation. What began as a single case, people from around the world continued searching for clues and explanations. Was he a master planner, a lucky escape artist, or simply a man whose story was never fully understood?
More than 50 years later, the mystery remains one of the most famous unsolved cases in American history.
His true identity remains uncertain. His final destination remains unknown. And perhaps that is why the story endures. Somewhere between fact, theory, and legend, the man who